Jack, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
You're invited to Valentino's big jumbo anniversary party, and we've got a gift just for you. On Thursday, July 31st, only buy 1 jumbo 16-inch pizza at a regular price and get a second pizza free. Hamburger or cheese pizza only on original crust. It's our way of saying thanks for sharing Valentino's tradition for over 68 years. Celebrate with a slice of Valentino's tradition on us. Pre-orders start July 30th, online, by phone, or in person, and the offer is good for July 31st only. Carry out or delivery at participating Valentino's locations.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
That it is. Welcome in to MLB Trade Deadline Day here on July 31st, year of our Lord 2025. Austin Orman with you, Jay Foreman just around the corner. He'll step in and join me to talk some Huskers here in just a moment. 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. Would love your insights on a couple major topics, including Dana Holgorsen and DeKel Shorts addressing the Nebraska media today. A lot of talk about wide receivers. We'll tell you what they had to say, get in depth in their thoughts, give you our breakdown on their perspective on the room for DeKel Shorts that he's coaching and just the overall state of the Nebraska offense here early in fall camp from new full-time offensive coordinator, Dana Holgorsen. Big thanks, as always, to The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, special ingredient butcher shop with 3 Lincoln locations and 1 up in Omaha. Here in Lincoln, you can find them at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, or 85th and Old Cheney. That is that location where they had their Fired Up Thursday lunch specials. And then the 84th and Havelock location tomorrow is Fired Up Friday, beginning at 11 a.m. Check them out there. I believe it's the grilled steak Vietnamese noodle tomorrow. Sounded fantastic. Go to themercadobutcher.com. You can find the Fired Up Thursday, Fired Up Friday menus there as well. Again, 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. Cubsker, yes, while we wait for Jay Foreman to get in, we will talk some Major League Baseball trade deadline. Cubsker says that the Cubs are blowing the trade deadline yet again. You know, I don't think they're doing that terribly. I think the Mariners were much more willing to pay Eugenio Suarez than the Cubs were. I think Mike Soroka is a fine get, and I think the Cubs are still in on potentially Mackenzie Gore and or another bat or two. So we will definitely keep monitoring the MLB trade deadline as we go throughout the show. In some Royals news, they are off today. They trade backup catcher Freddie Fermin to the San Diego Padres. They get a couple of young, controllable, right-handed starting pitchers for the moment in the return for that trade. So really like that. We'll keep diving into that as the trade deadline nears here at the end of the show, 5 o'clock Central for the Major League Baseball trade deadline. But let's bring in Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman. Jay, what's up?
Oh, man, you talk about the trade deadline. You need to trade Nick Sainer.
Why would we trade Nick Sainer, Jay?
Because we need a pack of bubble gum and some crackers.
I thought you were going to say we needed an upgrade. That'd been too on the nose.
Yeah, we need to upgrade from Nick. We need to trade him.
He upgraded on you.
I know. But everything's all good, man. Traffic, man. My ride was a little late, but it's all good.
You're here now. That's all that matters. I do want to get into this here, Jay, because tomorrow could be a very big day in the landscape of college athletics. We know we have the House settlement already approved, still working through some details on that. But Jay, as of tomorrow, it's the first day that college programs can extend revenue sharing contract offers to recruits entering their senior year of high school. How big a game changer will that be for college football programs and high school football players?
I mean, it's a good way to potentially, I guess, lock down your class even before, like, game day visits and in the, like everybody has like a commitment time frame. Because, look, man, big bank take little bank and just get guys locked in. You can kind of really maybe forecast your salary cap for the next year. Now, there's always going to be that, you're going to have to, assume that that there's going to be like, some sort of like, like when somebody buys a company or sells a company, you might lose 15% of your business or whatever. There's going to be guys that get, make some more money, say for instance, you're committed to Florida State. And Clemson loses the number 1 corner and you're the number 3 corner. Well, then Clemson's like, all right, we'll pay you $200 more grand a year. Well, then that's, you can lose some guys like that. So, but ultimately I think it's good for high school kids and you can kind of get a head start on, your, I guess, professional life, going from high school to be a professional athlete. And, and then obviously the programs can, try to get some guys locked in, and it's going to be, it's no different. It's going to be the haves and have-nots. I mean,
and this is all coming out of rev share, not NIL, just to be clear. This
is
the chunk of the $20.5 million. That's the contract that they are allowed to look at.
Yeah. Well, it's also, you're going to know where you're at NIL wise too. Cause guys aren't, if you're getting a rev share portion, right, you probably have an idea where you're at NIL wise. Or maybe that's all where you're at. So you're going to know exactly where you're at. Obviously I don't think you're getting any NIL contracts because that's not through the house. But, let's just say this. Say in school A says, okay, we're only doing rev share. Well, if it's apples to apples at another school and they're giving you some NIL money, you left stuck on stupid. So I think, everybody will get maybe a little bit of head start of where they're at. And then obviously you're going to see an uptick in kids early enrolling. You might see a lot more kids taking summer schools and earlier in their high school careers and to get ahead. For instance, because you don't want to, at least if it was me, if I had to put in some extra work in the beginning or in this past summer in order to graduate early to make sure I start getting paid first,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm gonna do that.
But if you're a college coach, would you want that? Because more so than baseball, more so than basketball, football is a sport about physical maturity. It's good
But
for the
you're
players to get on campus, learn the playbook early. But man, if you're a college coach, wouldn't you want that extra year to see how he fills up?
Oh no, I'm not saying graduate like reclass. What I'm saying is, say you were say you could have really stretched out that last semester
Oh,
of
gotcha.
your natural senior year.
Mhm.
Well, then I would take those credits and move them to the
Summer, so you graduate
And
in December.
yeah, and so I could start. No, I don't. I mean, football is one sport. Unless you're a freak of nature, Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams,
Mhm.
and they play out on the edges. Now you'll get the Andy Katzenmars but I think he might have been older as a freshman. But yeah, you don't want to reclass up. You would actually probably want to reclass down.
Isn't that the Texas thing where you hold your kids back a year in
It's
preschool or
everybody
kindergarten
now.
or something?
It's everybody now. It's actually a friend of mine was on. It wasn't ESPN 30 for 30. It was one of those, like, remember Jeremy Schaap used to do those things,
Mhm.
and he's from Charlotte. So he held all his kids back, and it worked. And they end up, 2 of them went to Duke, and one of them actually made the NFL, and one went to NC State. Now they would have been younger, but they got back on track and ended up being older for the class before. It allowed them to mature because what at that time, all of them were like corners. 2 of them were corners, and one was like a slot receiver. They gave them a chance to mature and get into the height, weight, size, speed. The speed was always there. Now you gave them another year to mature and be the right weight. So, back to the subject at hand, I think it's a great opportunity for, both sides to kind of get ahead. And what I mean by that is that, high school kids will be able to see where they're at.
And let me pause you right
Yeah.
there real quick. They can see where they're at because they're not actually allowed to sign that
Until
rev share
December.
contract until the early signing day or
December,
period
right?
in December. So
Yeah.
you can see it, and then we'll get into that part of it.
Well, that's it.
Exactly.
You'll be able to see it. Now, it's tricky because now they're getting a crash course on how do you do business. Now, I know for
Mhm.
me, are you taking that contract offer? And I'm assuming it's only good if you're committing. That means committing on social media or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Are you taking that and using that as leverage? Because what you don't want to do is overbid. I think you just got to be really good where you're at. I'm making you a good offer, or wherever. And it's all dependent on the players. Like the rev share, option or contract for Dylan is different than would have been Jay Foreman,
Mhm.
and you have to understand that. Now,
Jay Foreman's value is much higher.
yeah, in my mind, but whatever. I mean, are you taking that and trying to upgrade yourself at the same kind of level of school and opportunity? I mean, it's and then you don't want people to be out there judging you what you're offering kids either. So I wonder how they're going to really keep it under wraps, which
Oh, they won't. They won't. That's getting out there because they're going to be able to have their hands on these paper contracts. Maybe, they're digital is how you send it out and they see it. But more so than, just comparing numbers, Jay, having signed contracts in your life,
yeah.
almost as important, sometimes more important than the actual raw dollars and cents is some of the rest of the language in the contract. So these agents and these high school students will not only be able to say, okay, this school's offering me 150 grand, this school's offering me 175 grand, but just how particular is the language in there? I know Florida State has gotten in some murky water, not quite hot water yet, about how one-sided their contracts were for the revenue sharing, basically tying the player to the school, making it really hard for them to transfer out unless they essentially got cut or released from the contract on the university's end of things.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting to monitor to see how these agents use even just the different language in the contracts. If we end up getting something pretty close to an industry standard, or if there are any standouts either way, positive or negative, with some of the fine print in some of these.
Yeah, I think there should be a standard contract. Then you have, amendments to it, and then that's kind of maybe incentive based. But it's hard to deal with that because if the season doesn't go right, then all of a sudden things will start to change. And I think industry based is probably the best way to go about it. But I think also, the fine print has to. You just don't want kids to get bamboozled by the schools or their agents.
Or someone in their circle want the money now.
Right. And I also think they need to have some sort of third party to check the agents, right?
And they're supposed to all be accredited, but
yeah. I mean, and I'm not trying to knock anybody from getting their hustles. I just don't want these kids that are, they aren't developed savviness, is savvy wise or savviness or don't have enough savviness to really differentiate what's really real and what's not. And it, it doesn't necessarily change the kid. It will change some kids, but I really think it just brings out who you really are, whether it's the kid or the athlete and whoever else is potentially on the, other end as far as a representation or advisor.
Would it be best for Nebraska to be out of the forefront of this, offering, those contracts, putting those contracts in front of players that they're in, pretty hot recruiting competitions with? When you look at especially a bunch of Midwestern schools, right? Nebraska's competing with Kansas State, with Iowa State, with Missouri in a lot of ways for a lot of prospects. Do you think it's best if Nebraska is on the more aggressive end, either pushing the envelope in terms of getting the contract in front of these players before those other schools, or upping the money? Or do you think Nebraska is a school that should maybe sit back, wait, and see what other schools are offering their players to determine if that's a good enough value for Nebraska or not?
Well, I think, I'm assuming that's what they collectively do. And I'm sure that's a big, job, for the GM, because he's pretty much running like the salary cap, right? For whatever the football, portion of it is. And then you have to, portion that out by position group and then by player. And then sometimes you have to make sure, then you have to be willing to make an exception, right? If Dylan Raiola falls to you, well, then that changes the dynamics. If it's at that time, or if it was at this time, on what portion you put towards your quarterback. Now you are able to get a legit 5-star quarterback. So then therefore you have to pay that rate. And then you also have to be willing, you have to collectively, as a staff, assuming, or just as a evaluation group, how far are you willing to go in a bidding war for a player, and that's what the players want. And so I think it's all like based on circumstances and how the situation, comes to the forefront. And, from there, then it's, now it's on the players to, make sure that contract is valid. And that valid means, by your play.
Worth it, right? I'm showing up every day and putting in the work. I'm becoming the player you thought I could be.
And there, I think some of the things they need to have some stipulations on, not public appearances, but you got to be held, you got to be accountable for essentially the ABCs and then some. And
well, if you sign a contract, it's in the contract.
It should be in there.
You got to be able to enforce it.
Yeah, because you don't want to be able to come here, get a signing bonus or whatever. I don't even know if they do that, but say they do get a signing bonus. All right, then I'm out. Or that's going to be the biggest thing. Is
would you give signing bonuses?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. Now, I think that signing bonus needs to be.
Would you be more willing to offer it to a freshman or to a senior?
Oh,
if these are all 1 year deals.
An older kid for sure. Freshman, I think it needs to be in some sort of like trust account or whatever. It's theirs, but if it kind of fully goes to them based on their time frame they've been here. I think there's plenty of ways that you can do it. I mean, I think it's I think if I'm a university and I have access to some guys that have been successful, maybe have gone through some stuff, those are the guys that I'm trying to really get in front of my kids, or my student athletes. And that's it. And it doesn't matter what sport they played is you need to get in front of them because they're coming. You're going. I mean, just imagine. Heck, in high school, in my high school, I remember we could get cheeseburgers. Right now, who knows what those burgers were made out of? But I thought we were boss balling in my last year in high school, and I'm sure they have, maybe the same things at local high school. But that was just barely doing anything, and so I was broke in high school. I mean, I was working at Rainbow Foods, pushing carts and all that, right? So it wasn't like, and I worked 3 summers to buy my car, right? My dad pitched in some, but it was majority me, right? So, but then, say I get a scholarship, say it was just me, I get a scholarship, and just say I'm not even in the millions. Just say, I'm sure I was a 3-star recruit, maybe low 4-star. No, definitely wasn't a 5-star, right?
Well, let's say you were 4-star because you like even numbers. How about
Okay,
that?
say I'm a low 4-star because that's probably really where I was at, right? So low 4-star, and you're getting on top of your scholarship. Say I'm getting my scholarship check, and I'm still living in the able dorms, right, for this first year, and I'm getting a scholarship check. But then you're getting a check on just say for $2,000 a month in rev sharing and whatever it is, or $4,000. That's more money that I could even think about at that point in time. You need to be able to maximize that, not just spend it at all. You need to be able to maximize it. And if you don't have people around them to kind of really steer them in the right way, then yeah, you'll get the player on the field, but then the player isn't able to take advantage of the situation that they've been blessed enough and pretty much given. So that's where I'd approach it, and it has approached it with that. Like, I would like to think if I'm sending you a contract, I'm also sending you a package of what I'm doing for you. Now, I would like that to be, and maybe that's and I would probably maybe like that maybe later when you sign it, maybe, because now we are actually,
once you've signed your letter of intent
and your
rev share.
right. So then maybe I send you the package of what we're doing, and it's probably something that we're voicing because if I feel like I have a really good support system for my athletes, one, I've put resources into building that, right? I've thinking power, manpower, or whatever, and finances. I don't want somebody to get all that hard work that we paid for and thought about for free and use it for them, because it is an arms race. The more that you can provide, the more that you can do, the better for you.
In terms of the language in the contracts, to that point, like, here's what we can offer you, is that, are you talking more like financially? Are you talking about, here is the support system that we're offering you to make sure that you hold up your end of the bargain? Because especially as freshmen, Jay, I would have to write into the contract, no unexcused absences. You have one, you get docked.
You got a certain amount, and then they got to be verified and all that stuff. I mean, because
I'd rather have that stuff put in there than you have to play X number of snaps.
Yeah, I don't need
especially as a freshman,
because that's what look, you're going to get first, second, third, fourth cracks at being able to play, or whatever your time frame is to be. Sometimes you're guy like Arch Manning. He got a big NIL deal, and he probably knew he wasn't going to play the first 2 years for sure. The first year. So you're okay with that. For me, as far as my package, it's going to be specifically player to player to set them up for the present, intermediate, and in the late, long future. That's how I'm going to set myself aside. Sure, you're going to have schools that are going to bring guys in from, I don't know, back then I remember NFL was like Merrill Lynch and Prudential and all that, right? And give you just just essentially, copy and paste and print. Well, I'm gonna bring real people in there to set you up, and if you have your family up for them, this is gonna be this one. I'm gonna make sure you're taken care of. Number two, this is how, hopefully, ideally, that I'm gonna be able to retain some of my players, not only by the contract, but how I live up to the contract of that from what we provide as well. Sure. The stuff of playing time and all that, I can't affect that. All I have to do, as far as like if I'm, I guess, the rev share king, is making sure that I'm putting you in the situation to be a king.
Yeah,
and also understand, like, really, that's going to be part of the contract, attend these classes, off season, meetings with your mentor or whatever. Those are the things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dock you harder for that versus if you don't go to an online class
or you're slacking in a rep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that makes sense to me.
they're both go the same, but I think I think if that's just if I'm really, it's almost like what we talked about Adam Silver. If I'm really coming down on you hard with that, then it lessens that I have to come down hard on you and something else because you know what I can do.
Well, essentially, you're trying to make it as easy as possible for them to get their money. You're not trying to stand in their way of them getting their money that they're being told that they receive now, right? You're not trying to make it hard for them to attain the maximum value. It's like, here's what we'll pay you. You do the bare minimum that's expected of a college student athlete, which I understand is still a lot, but show up to class, show up to meetings, work hard, show up to training table, right? Handle that sort of business, and the money's yours.
Yeah, but then as you get paid more, I'm going to expect more, but it's not anything out of the ordinary. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so hard for you not to be successful on the field, off the field in the future, that if it does not go in the right way, there's no way in the world that you can come back and say, why didn't you do this? I'm going to almost force you to do the things as an adult because you're not actually mentally, I'm paying you as a pro, but now I'm actually going to accelerate it even though you aren't a pro. And it's going to be hard lessons, just like it's on the field. So your whole, this is a game of life that we in this, and that's going to be the selling point. Do you want to just be a guy that kind of comes through there and look, everywhere you go, you're going to get paid. Yeah. Everywhere you go, you're going to have somebody when you get paid, they're going to take your taxes out. Okay, that's okay, but what's going to separate us? Number one, we're on the come up here in Nebraska, ideally, right? Potentially going to, we're here on winning ways. But then also we're a blue blood. And then obviously as this landscape of college football starts to change, both in the present time, but then also when you get older, then when you look back and I have channels set up for you to be, one, to protect your assets, number two, to protect you liability wise, if there is some sort of things that like the Edo Bandit thing that develops out of this, time frame in college football, you're already light years ahead. And we already got you set up. That's how you really pluck a guy off from here, from there. Do this, talk to him. I mean, that's what you do. You have to, because you have to, because everybody's providing the same basic service.
Yeah.
And the guys that just want to go and think that they just want to play football, those guys aren't going to be invested in anything you want, because then you'd be wasting your money.
Right.
Because they it doesn't matter what you do for them. They're not going to appreciate it.
Right.
But when you really have to but majority of the high level thinking athletes, they do have people around them. And then also you got to be willing to, turn away some guys because you're doing right by them and for them. And sometimes they have to learn the hard way. And then that's where you'll get them on the second or third transfer. The second or third, you remember me?
Hello,
I'm still here.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, so it's the boomerang effect.
Let's go ahead and go to break there. Sure, plenty more conversations on this as we see some of the fallout as high school players can begin to receive written contract offers for rev share beginning tomorrow. Dana Holgorsen, DeKel Shorts addressed the Nebraska media earlier today. We'll play you some of what they had to say, give you our thoughts when we get back to On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Doren. God bless you.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways. Tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
You're invited to Valentino's big jumbo anniversary party, and we've got a gift just for you. On Thursday, July 31st, only buy 1 jumbo 16-inch pizza at a regular price and get a second pizza free. Hamburger or cheese pizza only on original crust. It's our way of saying thanks for sharing Valentino's tradition for over 68 years. Celebrate with a slice of Valentino's tradition on us. Pre-orders start July 30th, online, by phone, or in person, and the offer is good for July 31st only. Carry out or delivery at participating Valentino's locations.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're back here during On the Block. Austin Norman and Jay Foreman with you, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Peas Montees. As I mentioned, Dana Holgorsen and DeKel Shorts addressed the media today. We'll get into hearing from those two gentlemen here during this segment of the show. Let's hear from Dana Holgorsen first and foremost, Jay, about the second string wide receivers, how they're pushing the first string guys. Here's the Nebraska offensive coordinator.
Yeah, just got more guys. More guys, and the depth is what I'm encouraged about. Just especially at the wideout position, adding 4 new guys. The young guys look good. I don't want to get into the names and everything. We know Dane's going to start and be good. We know Jacory's good. He's going to start and be good. And Isaiah showed up out there today, Hunter. But he's got guys behind him that are pushing him. Quinn Clark's pushing him, and Keelan Smith's pushing him. Jeremiah Jones looks really good. Cortez Mills has made a good bit of plays. So we got depth at wideout, which will make those guys better.
Couple interesting tidbits there. Dane is Dane. Dan Holgorsen feels very comfortable with what he's seeing from a senior transfer, Dane Key. Jacory's Jacory. I know he's a good player. So those two guys seem like they're penciled in, if not getting very close to being sharpied in as starters for Nebraska. And then it got interesting. And Isaiah Hunter had a good day out there today, but he's being pushed by a bunch of those names then that Dana Holgorsen mentioned. Interesting comments there. I think a lot of people have put Isaiah Hunter there with that first group for good reason because of the freshman year he had at Cal. But sounds like from what Dana Holgorsen said and DeKel Short said as well, you're not mentally locked in, every play, every rep. You can get past no matter how talented you are.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a freshman last year. So, I mean, it's not like he was a, third year, 2-year starter, and it's the junior year, and it's kind of like Samari Torre coming one and done. He's still wet behind the ears, and being at Cal and then being at Nebraska is significantly different. Even though I think Cal generally has good skill position, group of guys, but I don't think they have it quite to what we have here. Now, I might be mistaken, but I just think over the last few years, I think Nebraska, or at least obviously, I'll just say the depth here. If you took Hunter, Key, Barney, Smith, Clark, Jones, like Carter Nelson, that's, I think if you just took those guys and then took the group of guys that he had last year at Cal, it's a lot different. Now, I think it's more of a mental thing. I don't think it's a physical thing. I mean, he can stretch the defense.
Does that remind you of Nair at all?
What?
Talented.
No, Nair was too
in.
old to be doing that. But then he finally got he's got it going on right now, and which sucks because you wish you had done here. I just think it's just a process. I don't think it's anything to be alarmed about. I think the other guys are just they've been here longer. You got to think. I know for Quinn Clark and Keelan Smith had been here already. So they kind of know. Hunter's still kind of figuring out. Not where meetings are at, just used to being familiar.
So you're not hearing immaturity; you're hearing normal, natural growth process.
Yeah, and you got to be locked in. It's a and Coach Dana, he can tune you up a little bit, and what you want, man. He's way more intense. He has an expectation of what he expects out of his players. I mean, the thing is that I think these young guys don't understand. They don't do enough research on like coaches, and I learned that. Now, granted, we didn't have access to it when we played,
right?
Because you barely got the media guide, which was papers. Now these guys can get on the internet and really look. And here's where you got to really look at, like, and study who you're playing for, playing against. But let's just look who you're playing for. Okay, Dana Holgorsen is an offensive coordinator. He's been a head coach, offensive coordinator, but he's a former wide receivers coach. Okay. Shorts is one of his wide receivers as a player and coach. So you best believe they look at that position a little bit different than they look at other positions. It's just natural. I can't speak for them. I just know like this. If I'm a Jay Foreman, if I'm a defensive coordinator, what do you think I'm looking at first?
Linebackers.
And who do you think I'm putting more pressure on?
All linebackers.
Period. When I talk about it, you say I'm biased. What I think, because I believe good linebacker play, consistent linebacker play, can make a defense go.
You've seen it, I bet.
Right. And so for Hunter, I just think it's just a process where he's, got to lock in and, whatever it is, they want to see out of him on a more consistent basis, then he'll separate himself. But but it's also good that the young guys are pushing him because that means the guys that they've recruited or retained in Keelan Smith and Clark, and then Jones is coming in, and then obviously Mills, who's a guy that they flipped, I think,
From Oklahoma, I believe.
right,
Mhm.
late,
Mhm.
right. They're everything that they wanted, and the depth is there, and so that's what you need as a coach and a coordinator.
We heard from DeKel Shorts about that very thing you were just talking about, Dana Holgorsen's experience coaching wide receivers. Here is his former player and assistant coach, DeKel Shorts, on that.
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment. Coach Holgorsen is pretty direct and demanding. He's hard on those guys at the receiver position. Obviously, he knows a lot about that position. He's coached it at the highest level. He's done it for a while, but it's been adjustment for our guys. But I think they're getting the hang of it. It's been a process every day. We work on tempo, attack period. So just getting those guys to change their mindset and to change their urgency as we go. Now, once we move forward, that should become the normal. So it should be like secondhand nature by the time we get going.
You heard it right there. He's tough on him. He knows that he coached at the highest level. We just got to get used to it.
Yeah, and it's all for good. I
Mhm.
mean, it's not. I mean, it's just it's adjustment for all of them. It's adjustment for. Look, when I'd be willing to bet when Dana became the coordinator, and kind of it's one thing I think. Didn't he come in as like an analyst or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so but
Mhm.
once he started to kind of really be the coordinator, I bet you it was adjustment for everybody on the offensive side of the ball.
Mhm.
It's in some percentage.
Yeah.
So there's without a doubt, it's not going to be, or without a doubt, it's going to be an adjustment right now. And that's the thing that you have to, that is hard. You can't recruit or you can't evaluate the process of learning how things go. You can do it. And here's the thing. What I like is, there's a difference from spring Jay Foreman as a coach, if I was a
Mhm.
coach, and how I am in training camp. Because right now it's it it's peanut cutting time.
Mhm.
And because we're playing for keeps,
Mhm.
and so I expect more. Number one, I've been here before, or we've been through spring. Now I expect it's a different tempo, different intensity, and different standard. But my regular standard is very high. Now I'm gonna try to bring it up to another level. And what he said, look, he's like changing the mindset, changing the tempo. I don't care what time we practice.
Urgency was mentioned as well.
Listen, I don't care that you're tired. I understand it, and I feel sorry for you.
No, I don't.
I do, but I still don't care. I mean, I don't care in the sense of we got to do what we got to do.
We got to take care of you, but we got to get you in shape.
Right. And now, and it's not even in shape. It's just like consistently doing it. And look, it's long days, it's early mornings, late nights, and the reason why I always say, and I guess like maybe it could be perceived as callous when I say it, because I've said it to basketball players. The reason why I say I don't care, because I don't care enough to change what we're doing unless it is actually something to care about. And the reason why I really don't care is because when you're out there playing against Michigan, or in particular Cincinnati, I can tell you they don't care. They don't care it was hot 2 days ago.
Mhm.
They don't care that you're tired. Now I do care because you're my player.
I don't want you to collapse.
Right.
I only care if it's something that's actively detrimental
Right.
to you.
Well,
But if it sucks for you, but it's getting you better, no, I don't care.
Right,
I'm
because
doing what's good for
my
you.
natural instinct is if you're sick, hurt, or whatever, then I'm going to take care of you. But if it's because you're a little uncomfortable? Oh, I definitely ain't caring about that because
that's the point.
Because that's exactly where we're at. We're at the point right now where you can be in your feelings a little bit, and I don't think that's it. But I think it's just look, when you're a freshman like Mills. Is Jones a freshman?
He's
too?
a freshman.
Okay, so you got two freshmen and two redshirt freshmen, and Smith and Quinn Clark, and one, let's just call him a super sophomore, right?
In Isaiah Hunter.
Yeah, right, because he didn't redshirt. He was a true sophomore. Let's get a super sophomore. Dude, those are just 5-6 guys.
Yeah,
they don't know nothing. They don't.
Even Ja'Cory is the true sophomore.
Okay,
as well
throw
in
him
that
in there.
room,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
right,
Dane
so-
Key's the upperclassman really
Right.
in that room that's seen the field.
Right. So besides Dane Key, none of them really they know some things. They think they're more thinking, and so you got to you just got to tighten them up.
Mhm.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Here's DeKel Shorts on coaching that urgency and playing with speed.
I think we're getting better. We're not where we need to be yet, but we're getting better. I think, Coach Holgorsen's really, really harping on 2-minute and the importance of it, whether it's end of game situation, end of half situation, or we just want to go hurry up. Just, harping on the urgency changing and just, getting our eyes to the sideline, things of that nature. So the more we do it, the more we'll get comfortable.
The more we do it, the more we'll get comfortable.
Yeah, it's just those are little things because every second counts. The 2-minute drill is no joke. It's no joke. It's one of the things that that's very. It actually is. It's harder, but it's easier because you're on so much pressure. You can't overthink. That's why they want you to do those little things so you can actually relax and play. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where
make
it's like,
it second nature.
Right. Okay, I get a first down and we have one timeout and what are we doing? Are we clocking it or we're going? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or we don't have any timeouts and there's 16 seconds left. Do I try to break a tackle and cut to the middle of the field, or do I get out of bounds and then we actually get 2 more plays? Those are the things. Or when we're doing it, whatever their process is as far as looking to the sideline so we can run plays. What that is doing is actually speeding up and clearing up the communication. Because if Austin is running back from the opposite hash in between the numbers, and I'm able to look to the sideline, and I'm able to if we have a hand gestures or whatever our code is, it's allowing you to get back and be able to run the next play, which could be a matter of 2 or 3 seconds, and that's what you might need. Or just say it could save through 3 plays. It could saves 9 or 10 seconds. That allows you to get into Mayday field goal. So it goes into it with 2 minutes, or even transition in between drills, or transition the mindset from, let's say, glide speed to game speed to 2-minute. There's all different levels that you got to be able to flip your mindset. I'm one of the things I think that Greg Williams really helped, at least for me as a player. Not, every practice wasn't the same. It was on purpose. But the emphasis on 2-minute and red zone and how important it was. And then he showed us all the stats, and this is how you play, and understanding what they're trying to do in the red zone about when the motion, where they want everybody to move, and then they're actually going to run where you just came from, or run, routes there. But also the mindset shift on when to, I guess they call it now, lock in. I mean, it helped me, play better at other places.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think this will only make these kids, these players play better.
Lots more to get to from Dana Holgorsen and DeKel Shorts. We'll do that coming up in hour 2. We're going to go to break. When we get back, though, we're playing the shootout. Jay, you wanted a challenge. I think I upped the difficulty level. Maybe you'll make me eat my words and look silly.
I just got bad news. Correa is going back. No, it's good news because Houston Astros is one of my team. They got Correa back.
They did get Correa back.
See, I knew something was up. He ain't never buy a house in Minneapolis.
Oh, and he's been there for years.
Yeah,
interesting.
Right.
We'll keep you updated on the MLB trade deadline. We're playing the shootout with $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line. That's how we'll wrap up hour 1 of On the Block. Coming up next.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
That's right. The game is the Shootout with Strick. We play it here at the 345 typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Austin Orman, Jay Foreman with you for the shootout here. Let's go ahead and get this pulled up. Make sure we are all situated. Let's go to our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Caller, are you there? What's your name?
Jeremy.
I hear you. What's your name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, thanks for calling in. We will give Jay his questions first, and then we'll get to you. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, Jay, I mentioned the difficulty level was going up, but again, you could very, very easily make me eat my words. We're doing Big Ten football coaches and their alma maters.
Oh.
So you asked for it. Your round begins here in 3, 2, and 1. What university did Michigan State head coach Jonathan Smith attend? Marshall or Oregon State?
Marshall.
It was Oregon State. What university did Minnesota head coach PJ Fleck attend? Northern Illinois or Northern Kentucky?
He looked like he's from Kentucky. Northern Kentucky.
Northern Illinois. What university did Oregon head coach Dan Lanning attend? William Jewell or William and Mary?
William Jewell.
Yep. And what university did Indiana head coach Kurt Signetti attend?
Man, I don't know. This is horrible. I can't believe it. I don't even want to guess. I'm disappointed.
West Virginia.
You know, that's on brand. I should have known it because of Nick Saban.
That's all right. All right, Jeremy, you need 1 to tie. You need 2 or more to win. You ready for your round?
Yes.
All right, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. What university did Illinois head coach Brett Bielema attend? Iowa or Minnesota?
Minnesota.
It was Iowa. What university did Ohio State head coach Ryan Day attend? New Hampshire or New Mexico?
New Mexico.
It was New Hampshire. What university did Maryland head coach Mike Loxley attend? Tennessee Tech or Towson?
Tennessee Tech.
It was Towson. And what university did Iowa head coach Kirk Ferentz attend?
Miami, Ohio.
The guess is Miami of Ohio. That guess is incorrect. It's UConn. Kirk Ferentz is a UConn guy. Jeremy, you got skunked.
Wow.
Thanks for calling, Jeremy. Try again soon.
You bet. We'll see it.
That was hard, man. That was hard.
Y'all went 1 for 8.
Yeah, there you
One
go,
for
Austin.
6, 1 for 6 on 50-50s.
Congratulations, Austin. You
I
stumped
did it.
everybody.
I still got it.
Yeah, I couldn't do that, man.
See, I thought the Iowa one for Bielema
That was
gettable.
That was easy.
And then I thought it was
New
more
Hampshire one is easy because of the
Chip Kelly
Chip Kelly connection.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
Thought more people would have gotten that one. So, anyways, that means we're going to give the chicken away with the tiebreaker question. So, Jay, how many tackles for loss did Dan Lanning record as a senior linebacker at William Jewell in 2007?
12.
Jay says 12. We need over, under, or push on our starter Heyman Jewelers. Text line, over, under, or push 12.5 tackles for loss for Dan Lanning as a senior at William Jewell. Let us know, 402-464-5685. We'll get you that answer and Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer of Meyer's Cork and Bottle after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers with patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds throughout the day, the high near 79. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and light winds, a low around 60. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies and light winds with an ashing high near 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer.
It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
I'd give that a 9. Solid 9.
Oh, we are so back.
What's up, fellas?
Kevin, welcome back to Civilization.
Yeah. It's been a good solid 3 weeks.
It has. Joe hooked us up 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
And then some of us were in Vegas last week. So
that's
really
right.
skipped one
Big
week.
10 Media Days.
Indeed, Big 10 Media Days. So we were about as removed from Civilization as you were.
Did you drop us any love from Big 10 Media Days for Meyer's Cork and Bottle?
We were off the air at that point. So I tried to remind the people back here to do it, but I cannot make any promises.
Cannot confirm nor deny.
Cannot confirm nor deny.
Fair enough.
How are you?
I'm doing good. My wife and I celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary. So had a nice extended vacation down in the Bahamas. And before I left, I set a new personal record in 9 holes of the Ticket Golf League for myself. So that was pretty solid. I went 1 under par on a 9-hole stretch for golf league.
That's real good.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was, like I said, my personal best was an even. So to go 1 deep at age 54, I was pretty happy with.
Was everything working? Was something specific working?
Everything was working. I was putting the ball in play off the tee. My approach shots were, a lot of greens in regulation and made some putts. It was really kind of a boring one deep. I didn't do anything spectacular at all. I didn't drop any bombs. I didn't hole out from anywhere. It was just kind of solid. So
don't tell me it wasn't spectacular when you said a personal best, Kevin.
And you went 1 under. You
come
being
on,
awful
that's
humble.
Well,
you need to describe it. You were hitting a power fade, big draw.
It just depends on the shot. So there are some that call for a little baby fade, some call for a baby cut, and then some call for a baby draw, and then
Kev's got it in the bag.
Well, the biggest thing I've learned, number one, is I leave my ego at home. So I'm taking an extra club and swinging easy. Number two, instead of like on a par 5 and you're 235 yards out. Yeah, I can hit the ball 235, but what are my odds of actually hitting the green from 235? Maybe 1 in 50, right? So I'm like, okay, hit to a number. So leave your ego in the bag, hit to a number, hit yourself to 90, 100 yards out, a number you like. Keep yourself out of trouble, hit the green in regulation, and then nuzzle it up close for a kick in par, and every now and again they go in for birdie. So that's just kind of the way I'm playing these days. Old man golf is what it is. It's 100%.
Well, it's just like old man basketball at the Y.
Oh yeah.
Same concept.
Absolutely. You back them down,
booty ball.
Yeah. Right.
Hooks,
right.
drop steps.
Right. Yep.
Up and unders.
Absolutely. My buddy back in the day, he used to call it the leaning mire. So I'd get you going one way and then just do a little finger roll off the other way. And yeah,
I love it. Before we get into what we are partaking in today, Cubsker on our text line wants to know if you've seen the AI Sasquatch video where he visits the University of Nebraska.
I have not. There are so many of them though. They've kind of jumped the shark, but there are some that are still really good. I haven't seen the one that I'll have to look that up.
Apparently that is on your watch list for tonight.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm batching it. My wife's still gone, so it's just me and the dog hanging out. I've been watching Quarterback, the series on Netflix.
Yeah.
And because she has zero interest in that, so I'm watching the Kirk Cousins, Joe Burrow, Goff series.
Yeah,
so.
you should be after you shot 1 under. You need to get you a Joe Burrow outfit.
Man, that guy dresses weird.
Yeah.
He's got that weird stylist, and even when his stylist doesn't dress him, he dresses kind of funny. So, like a kid in 7th grade or something.
Someone on Twitter was saying that he either dresses like a middle school kid, or like his stylist is the same stylist that like Paige Beckers has.
Right, or he's going to whatever one of the Paris Fashion Week or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Jay, how does that get taken in an NFL locker room when a dude's that bipolar with the fashion?
You would have never done that when I played. Now it's probably just. It's if you're not dressing like that, if you dress like Tom Brady, like suit, tie, it's like something wrong with you. The guys that
you're not expressing your individuality, then they think there's something you're hiding something.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the stylist that was going to try to get me to do something. It's like, nah, I want the same color suit every single game.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I want that suit off as soon as possible. I hate getting dressed up.
Yep. Yeah. So would you go navy or black or?
If we're black, probably. If we was a game that I sometimes I wore like an all black suit.
Yeah,
because it's their funeral.
Yeah, it's their funeral, and I had like 3 suits. I had a tan, or I had a silver, or like gray, blue, black. That's it.
Yeah.
And just kind of rotated the shirts.
I like it.
Bruce colors.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right,
easy.
Let's dive into the beer, Kevin. What we got here?
Okay, so we have a locally brewed hazy IPA from our friends at Corn Coast Brewing. This one is called Shredding the NZ NAR. NZ stands for New Zealand, and they're using New Zealand hops. And how I had mentioned that I'd kind of lost my tapes for hops a little bit, and I got to thinking, this isn't about me. There are lots of people that are still drinking the IPAs, and
leave your ego on the shelf.
Leave your ego in the bag on the shelf. And let's drink a good IPA. And our friends at Corn Coast, number one, I think they have some of the coolest packaging in the market. Number two, they're great guys. And number three, they're making great beer. And so they're doing these IPAs as good as anybody. They're juicy. They're not really that bitter, medicinal type. It's not like drinking a pine tree or eating a pine cone. You get those more tropical pineapple type flavors, tropical, like maybe, I I don't know, some orange, some tangerine, that sort of thing going on.
I like it. I like it. They're perfect for a day like today.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit cooler out.
A little cooler out.
Starting to feel like football weather.
It's not a fall beer that that you brought in. It's kind of mid. This is still summer, but this is kind of a cool day type of drink.
Right.
And got a little preseason action. You could definitely pound about 4 or 5 of these a night and turn up on a Thursday.
If you're going
Indeed.
4 or 5 IPAs deep, though.
Yeah,
that's
that's a lot.
He's talking about turning up on a Thursday because these are 7%, and you will be turning up. That's for sure.
Light up that neighborhood. It's like football is back, baby.
You obviously said Corn Coast, right? It's a nice little yellow color, but it makes sense when you said pineapple. That's the first thing I think that I got aside from the IPA-ness of it was I thought a little tropical. I thought a little pineapple, obviously from the color, but you can sense that kind of citrus, like you were saying.
I like it.
And that's that New Zealand hop. It has that tropical pineapple sort of taste to it. And it is an IPA, so it does register on the bitters units, what they call the IBUs. You've heard of Scoville units, like for hot peppers and whatnot. They have a similar type of thing for hops. So it's a scale. So just because it measures higher on the IBU scale doesn't mean that it's going to be more bitter per se. But it depends on when they put the hops in the boil. So the later on, the more juicy it gets, the earlier, then you're going to get more of that piney, resiny extraction, as they say.
Are there like regions of the world? Like, is there like a map someone could look at and like say the hops from this part of the world have these qualities, and then does that change across the world? Like, how similar is like a New Zealand hop to like other crops you might get out of New Zealand?
Well, that's interesting because, they're growing different types of hops all over now, and they're constantly working with hybridizing new hops, just like they have with wine grapes, right? And so climate makes a difference. Soil type makes a difference. Where they're getting the cuttings from make a difference. And so, you could grow the same type of hop, say a Cascade hop, which is a more piney type of a hop, grow that in Nebraska, and it's going to taste different than if you grow it in California or if you grow it in Germany. It just kind of depends, even though the hop technically is the same.
Same name, but different characteristics.
Right, because
the other variables.
It's drawing basically its identity via the soil. And so there are different soil compositions no matter where you go. Even though it'll still grow, it's still picking up the characteristics of the earth in which it comes from.
And that's just the same like splicing methods for hops that they use like with grapes?
Usually what they'll do, it's not like they'll do grafting. Hops rhizome. So basically the roots will spread underneath the surface of the ground and then pop back up. And so it's kind of like almost like a ground cover type of thing. And so they have to actually train the hops to go up instead of out. And so what they do is they'll just take those rhizome cuttings, keep them wet, keep them cool, and then you can transport them to wherever you want and then put them in the ground, and then they'll come up, and then you just got to train them to go vertical instead of horizontal.
Interesting. Trellising. There we go.
Yeah.
That's a word I'm more familiar with. Got a big old trellis in my backyard right now.
Dude, you should grow some hops.
Maybe. Probably not. It's kind of my wife's garden,
yeah.
So I say I have a trellis in my backyard, but my wife has a trellis in her garden in my backyard is probably the more accurate phrasing of that.
We've got a huge garden, and it got neglected the entire time I was gone. And so I got back and it just went. And so I harvested as much stuff as I could before I got too itchy last night.
What are we harvesting?
I think I probably got about 3 dozen jalapenos. I got 2 big buckets full of tomatoes.
Like 5-gallon buckets?
No, like probably like 2-gallon buckets.
Still.
And then delicata squash, which is pretty tasty.
Nice.
Cucumbers. Thank God zucchini season is over. Holy moly.
Too many zucchinis?
Too many zucchinis. You can only do so much, but it's kind of fun though. My wife has this spiralizer, and so she'll take the zucchini and spiralize it into noodles. So they call them zoodles. And so instead of like regular pasta, which is pretty starchy and, has a lot of carb in it, we'll just eat it over those zucchini noodles, and it's pretty tasty and you don't really miss it. So
nice.
So take that and freeze it, and then they're just ready to go.
You gonna make some salsa?
Oh yeah, I'll make some salsa, and then and then chili base, and then spaghetti sauce and
You got
pizza
that
sauce.
squash you can throw on the grill too.
Yeah, I do that. I like to
You got a nice little hookup over there.
Yeah. I'll cut that up and cut it into fingers, and then either grill it or you can do it in the oven too, and just do like zucchini fries or squash fries. Yeah.
So if the garden was overrun, how bad was the lawn?
The lawn was out of control. Still is.
You know they were talking bad about you though. You know your neighbors were.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Get the HOA that you don't have on you.
Yeah, we live out in the country, and so 4 acres worth of growth for 2 weeks, and solid rain, and yeah, no, I'm in trouble. I've been mowing.
You need to leave when there was a drought.
Yeah, I've been mowing ever since I got back, and it basically what I've already done needs to be redone again already with the rain we've gotten. So, oof.
Dang. Well, let's sip some wine. Maybe
Let's do
take
the
your mind
wine.
off
Yeah,
that for a little
We're
bit.
kind of
Looks like
got
a
off
deep
topic.
red.
No, that's all right.
That's what we do here during On the Block. We get Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer, Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Thirsty Thursday is not just about Meyer's Cork and Bottle. It's about camaraderie.
Indeed.
It's about friendship. It's about
It's about guys being dudes, Kevin.
guys being dudes.
That'll go nice with a nice juicy ribeye.
Yeah, especially if you dust it up with some a little extra spice on there.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of spice.
Yeah.
Where are you at on tahini?
Tahini.
I love some.
You know what I like it best on? Corn.
Corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do so like some elote style Mexican street corn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you wrap that up in some foil, put that on the grill with a little, you can use butter. So I usually use olive oil spray, put a little tahini on there, a little salt, a little pepper. Heck yeah.
Nick Sainer was on the cusp of being sent home early from Vegas.
But he
because he's out on tahini.
No, because he was being Nick. And he meant that the tahini saved him.
Yeah.
He introduced me to tahini on I think it was a margarita or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, as a rimmer?
No, it was the Mexican candy, and then you got it on your margarita the next night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's kind of weird. They put their candy in that spice. It's kind of weird, but it's an acquired taste. But once you do it, it kind of works.
Yeah, Nick said, "Trust me," and his trust level it was at negative 100. He got back out to even.
All right. Well, enough you didn't kick him out of Vegas. That's good.
Indeed. All right. What are we drinking here, wine-wise?
So this is called Honoro Vera. This is a Spanish garnacha, which the French call it Grenache. And the thing I love about the Spanish wines is that they've got that delicious sort of smoky spice on the finish. So Jay is spot on.
Yeah.
A good ribeye, anything off the grill, anything smoky, anything barbecue, slow done. You could do brisket with this. You can I really like it with Mexican style food, so stuff that's got like cumin and paprika in it because it has that cuminy paprika spice. And this is one of my favorite wines in the store because it punches above its weight class big time. So these are on the shelf for $14 every day, and to me it drinks like a $30 bottle. And it's got a cool looking label. And it's just one of those things that goes well with everything. But I think Jay's spot on with something off the grill.
Right when I smelled it, I'd go right with a ribeye.
So if we have Strick's picks, Foreman's favorites,
yeah,
and Up Austin's Alley, if this is a selection from Kevin Meyer, what do we call that?
Kevin's top 7? I don't know.
Ooh, okay.
Kevin's heaven?
Oh, there we go.
All right. We can do that.
That hits it
We can
right
roll
there,
with that.
man.
Yeah,
picturing
$14.
a nice ribeye. Nice little. I like fat on my ribeye too.
You rendering it down at all?
No, the fat makes it juicier.
Yeah.
Then I'm cutting that off after I cook it.
What
delicacy
so
also.
when you go direct fire, you do reverse sear. What's your methodology?
Just kind of depends what I'm feeling like.
Yeah. Get it nice and hot and just
whatever if I have a bottle of this, I'm probably gonna do a little bit of all three.
Yeah. So before we went over to Surf and Turf, got a whole loin, prime loin, and had them cut 1.5 inch and 3/4 New York strips, prime New York strips, and then vacuum sealed them individual and flash froze them, and then put them in our check bag on the way down. And so we're going over live charcoal. And I like doing the crosshatch. So you get it nice and hot, put it at a 45 to those grill grates, and then rotate it to another 45 so you get the nice square
Yeah,
crosshatch,
yeah.
and then repeat on the other side. And that's just it looks as good as it tastes, and it smells even better.
Yeah, man. It's I mean, I like I said, I didn't really come to terms with wine and well, first of all, steak being medium rare, along with wine with steak until I got traded from Buffalo to Houston.
Oh yeah,
They probably didn't know how to
they
do
had
that.
teach
in
you right in
Buffalo.
Texas, huh?
Well, you got the owner there, you got his son, and you got the GM there. You're gonna eat whatever he ordered for me, and I had to eat it, and then that was the best thing ever.
Yeah,
because up until then, it was water and well done steaks.
Well, my wife grew
Water
up
and hockey pucks.
Yeah,
like
right.
when they had steak, it was like minute steak, So
Oh, yeah.
so that's what her idea of beef was, and she was like, she didn't like the texture. It was kind of, she said it was boingy was the term.
Boingy.
And so it was funny because when we first started dating, she was a vegetarian, not because she was fundamentally opposed to eating meat. She just didn't like it because she wasn't ever exposed to it growing up. And I don't know why. She grew up in Kansas, but there was 4 kids in the family, so I don't think steaks were on the menu a whole lot.
Yeah.
And but she worked at Bumsteer Steakhouse as a waitress. And I said, so what did you tell people when they ordered? And she goes, well, I told them to order the most expensive one so I get a bigger tip. I'm like, that's my girl. That's my girl right there.
That's easy marketing, man. But I'm gonna tell you, for $14 for a bottle of wine, that's it.
$14 Ruby Red.
Yeah, that's
Woo.
definitely fighting way above the weight class.
Yeah. Honoro Vera Garnacha 2023 from Spain, on the shelf every day, $13.99. Tough to beat.
Nice. 2 for 2, as always. You're back like you never left, Kevin.
Hey, love you guys. Appreciate you having me.
Hate to tell you, I'm gone next week, so don't do anything too good with that.
Where are you going?
I'm going all inclusive next week.
Attaboy. Mexico?
Mexico.
See,
yeah.
I told him that's what you need to do.
That-
Fall till you fall.
5-year anniversary, second kid on the way. We're taking a little trip.
Hey, good deal. And you know what? You're going to get the best bang for your buck down there. That's the way to fly.
Excited, first time. So
Add a kid.
I know. Kind of a big moment.
Well, too bad you're. Well,
gonna
just
get that
drink your wife's
tequila?
share too.
Right.
You
You'll
gonna
be fine.
drink that tequila?
Probably.
You think he can handle the tequila with that worm in it or whatever?
Well, that's the mezcal. The worm is called a gusano. And so it's mezcal con gusano, which means with the worm.
Yeah.
But most of the mezcal doesn't have the worm in it anymore. But I'd say stick with your Miami Vices and your margaritas.
Also, you a little wet behind the ears. Also, we got that's. The second
He's
time.
going to break himself in. I think. Hopefully, you don't get yourself in too much trouble with your pregnant wife.
No, absolutely.
Are you bringing the kiddo?
We are not bringing the kiddo.
Yeah,
he's gonna have a sleepover with my in-laws the first couple nights, and then my side will have him the next couple.
There you
nights,
go,
so.
Grandma and Grandpa. That's what they're there for, man.
Indeed, I don't know who's looking forward to it more, them or him. So,
well, or you.
I mean, we love the little guys.
Of course.
It'll be Mom's first extended time away from him,
and
so.
that's rough. I will tell you. So you're gonna have to be sensitive to her emotions and just wait on her and let her know that. Yeah, there you go.
It makes me feel almost a little callous. Not like I don't miss the little guy when I'm gone, but having gone to Corvallis and Stillwater and Vegas a couple different times now, it's just like, yeah, sorry. I mean, I miss you. I love you. I'll see you when I get back.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how Mom handles it.
Empathy. That just gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Have another sip of wine. Get rid of them heebie-jeebies, Jay. How about that? Kevin, good to see you as always. We'll send people down to 13th and South to see you.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
That's Thirsty Thursday with Myers Cork and Bottle. More on the block after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Out here on Nebraska's calm, welcoming waters, fishing is a breeze. It's the sweet spot where solo anglers find quiet before the catch, families reel in memories, and first-timers discover what makes fishing so special. From the Panhandle to the Platte, the best fishing happens here, beneath Nebraska skies. Get started at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Back here to On the Block, off Norman J. Foreman with you. Big thanks to Kevin Meyer, Myers Cork and Bottle, stopping by, saying hi, seeing us. Appreciate him as always. Always nice to see him. 402-464-5685. You want to be a part of the show. Another important number for you to know is 402-430-3852. That is the number to Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're a locally owned company based out of Hallam, Nebraska, offering free window estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and lifetime warranties on everything while still keeping their prices affordable. Give Gary and his crew a call today for more, again at 402-430-3852. Jay, I think that with today being the MLB trade deadline, I do want to talk a little bit of baseball, not necessarily the trade deadline, more so salary cap. Major League Baseball's players are so vehemently anti-salary cap. Rob Manfred, the commissioner, has been going around having meetings with some teams, and within the last week or so, he met with the Philadelphia Phillies. And Bryce Harper apparently got up in Rob Manfred's face and says he can walk his blankety-blank out of his blankety-blank locker room for even proposing a salary cap.
Yeah.
What, from the player standpoint, is good about a salary cap and potentially a salary floor? And then why would players be so against it, like baseball's players and the Players Association have been so far?
Well, number one, salary cap, I mean, is uncapped right now. I mean, for a player like Bryce Harper, why would you want a salary cap? And now for him, I think he would be getting paid the same no matter what. They'll make it, room for him. But I think it's also, it's been going on this long. The players have been able to take advantage of it. Tony Clark has done a phenomenal job, and obviously Jeff Boris is really Scott Boris, excuse me. He's knocked it out of the park. I mean, he essentially is running the league. I think the smaller market teams, if I'm Pittsburgh or if I'm You know, a team like that,
Milwaukee, Kansas City, St. Louis, Tampa,
Colorado Rockies,
Colorado,
or something like that. It helps those teams, you know, with the salary cap, keep, retain, or sign big time players, because that lessens the chance of the Dodgers, the Yankees, like
the Mets
the
right
Mets,
now, mm-hmm.
Rangers, when
Red
they kind of
Sox,
you know, to really
Phillies, maybe
distance themselves. Sure. And so that's why the players don't want to do it, but because of the, I guess, loss of earnings, and it would cost, let's just say mid-level to high-level players 10 to 15% easily.
But on the flip side of that, the bottom players are getting paid less in baseball,
right
in
now.
a lot of cases.
So it just depends on who you are. If you're a big-time player like Bryce Harper, you get to go just, you know, essentially, you know, get $1 million or $1 billion worth of contracts in baseball if you continue to perform. Now, if you're a lower mid-level guy, or a lower level guy, or a guy that's kind of had a career year, but you don't really have the respect, or the bargaining power is like a Alex Correa or something like that, then yeah, you want this. You want the salary cap, because right now you really aren't able to maximize it. So it just kind of depends on where you're at in your career, who's representing you as a player rep, and what it represents. And so it's tough, man. I mean, it's
I just think it's interesting that baseball is still the only, of the big three, right? NFL has one, NBA has a salary cap, baseball doesn't. And let's not pretend like free agency was easy to come by for football or basketball players either. I mean, think about all the changes.
Well, you had a couple lockouts. I mean, you had lockouts from the very beginning. You had scab players and all that stuff, and lost relationships for guys that went across the lines, and the owners, really, they can, in the NFL wise, still have been able to get over on the players and still have a strong hold on the league. And
well, some of that's the players doing.
It is the players doing in the representation, but also it's where you start. You got to think, on the flip side, MLB players have started essentially on third, and definitely,
didn't hit a triple.
Didn't hit a triple. But have been getting all the credit for hitting a triple. Why would they want to go back to being a single hitter? There's no way in the world if it'd be like.
Well, that's the big difference in baseball too, is that all that money's guaranteed already. Anyway.
Yeah, and it's backed up by insurance, and there's difference of the NFL where like none of those contracts, or you're starting to see some more guys get stuff guaranteed, but it's like, MLB players get more guaranteed money, probably right on level or par with benefits as NFL players, and NFL players don't get any guaranteed money, and probably a little bit better in some cases benefits, but not as good. So I don't think if the players are ever going to fall for it. I mean, they have got a strong hold on the MLB right now. I mean, they do. I mean, Tony Clark might go down as the best union rep in professional sports of all time.
Whew. There've been some good ones. There've been some bad ones.
Who's done a better job for their players?
Got one off the top of my head. So,
and right now, when you have a unified, I guess, message of no, we're not changing, let you even more know that the players understand what he's doing it. He's very visible in and around the clubhouses. He's making decisions for potentially majority of the players that are on the MLB active rosters, and so they are able to stay put.
I just think it's interesting too, because in looking up some of these numbers here, Jay, this is from, I think it was 2022, I want to say. Yeah, so a little while ago, but I can't imagine this has changed that much. You add up all the numbers in terms of what players are getting paid in baseball, compare that to league revenues. Players are bringing in 45%, essentially, in baseball. Compare that to the NFL, where that's 47 or 48% in 2022. And then in the NBA, where it's been kind of bouncing back and forth between like 49% and 51%, depending on each CBA and how that works. Baseball players could, I would guess, get themselves a bigger chunk of the pie if they agree to a salary cap, But of course, all the messaging coming out is, well, not in Curt Flood's, Major League Baseball. He was the one that really held out for free agency and, not just having your services, your abilities tied to one team for the duration of your career. So why would baseball players, as a whole, I mean, I guess you gave some of the rationale, but wouldn't every player benefit from getting, another 3 or 4% of the total pie from the league to get them right to that, 48, 49, 50% range? How would that not benefit every baseball player?
I think it would benefit the higher percentage. But I think right now where you're looking at it in the initial reaction is from their bigger name players who's been able to take advantage via their agent, Scott Boras, tenfold. And so, I think, when you're at least from my experience, if I was advising players, the first thing to do when you're dealing with the owners is always say no at the beginning. Because you ain't getting nothing from them at the beginning.
Right.
So then you got to say no, and then eventually just come back with your wants or needs, when they actually are sitting down, trying to get something figured out.
So then salary floor, how is that different than salary cap? Would that be a part of it? Would it be tied? We know that that's around in the NBA.
That means the minimum would go up. So in theory and on black and white, it would help everybody. But here's where I think the NFL did, some players a disservice, and you see it sometimes, right? Where they raised the minimum salary for veterans. You have to pay a 7-year veteran this much.
X amount, right?
Which is great when they want to pay you that much, right? Say you were, a former Pro Bowler, All-Pro, and they're getting you for the cheap. And so it's not such a disrespect or slap in the face per se. Say you go from $3 million to $1 million or whatever it is. Well, majority of the league aren't whoever I just described.
Aren't making it 7 to 10 years.
So then now you would like to be able to not pigeonhole yourself into a certain, pay rate, no matter if it's whatever they're paying you or against the salary cap, when they can go 2 for 1, 2 rookies for the price of 1 veteran, or 2 rookies for the price of 1 veteran. Even if the 2 rookies are just a little bit more, you're still getting 2 for 1. So that's what you're talking about, the floor. That's great. But then it's going to make it harder for guys to really make it, because now they're looking at, with a salary cap, guys that we have to keep, how, once they become vested or they're guaranteed to be on the roster. Owners generally look at it like this, which is the weirdest thing ever. They don't really dissect the highest paid players. They overanalyze and dissect the guys that don't make the minimum, because they make you validate the little money that you're paying versus comparison of what they're paying somebody else. Because what they're paying the big guys, that's the ego boost. I'm paying Bryce Harper this, and he's hitting home runs. And ever since we've had him, we've put this many butts in the seats. But John Smith has came up from AA to AAA, and then say he's making, just say, $400,000. Well, dang it, he better be actually overproducing for what we're paying him.
He's got another level to make as well. Yeah.
And you got to prove it to me tenfold over, because in reality, they, I guess, view you less of value because you didn't come in the league dominating like Bryce Harper. So that's when you're talking about the floor. That's great, right? It's great. Probably get articles like, that's in theory, it's really good. In reality, they need to find a way to keep it the way it is, but then also have just a little bit of structure so you can kind of help the Pittsburghs, the Milwaukees, the Colorados, the smaller market and smaller spending, or less, more frugal front offices. Well, it used to be the Oakland A's, but now they'll be the Las Vegas A's. We'll see how that affects it, but generally those teams spend a little bit less.
And they do, but I think some of that's a choice. It's not like they don't have money to spend; they choose not to.
Choice. It is,
and that's where I think, give a lot of credit to a Milwaukee, who's been in the playoffs really consistently for my lifetime. You think about Tampa Bay, right? Expansion franchise was really bad early on. Developed a model that worked for them. We'll never be a big spender in the league, even though they're up for sale, right? You can compare and contrast those two teams. I would even throw Cleveland into that mix begrudgingly. I think it's where the Royals want to head as well, versus teams like Colorado and versus teams like Oakland that don't care to spend at all, yet by doing the bare minimum, even like Baltimore,
Yeah.
weirdly hasn't been a team that wants
They
to
have not
spend all that much
They have not spent.
as well.
They developed. They kind of
Right. But then you look at, Colorado and Oakland, Las Vegas, Sacramento, whatever you want to call them, they're not developing a whole bunch of young talent either.
Yeah.
And so I guess the question that it leaves me with, Jay, is would it be better to have a baseball system everywhere where, okay, you have these teams that aren't going to spend if they really want to be interested in competing? They got to get creative with the economics, get creative in player development, and find that sort of Moneyball niche that they can carve out. Or is it better for the league and for players that you have a Charlotte, that you have a Washington, that you have, a Carolina in the NFL, for example? They all have to spend relatively close to the same amount of money. They can't get away with not investing that money into the players, right? I mean, there are pros and cons both ways, but as a fan of a small market team that hasn't spent a lot of money, on the one hand, a salary cap would be nice to make me feel like the Royals would be a little bit more competitive year in, year out.
Yeah.
And then that excuse would go away. On the other hand, if the Dodgers and the Yankees want to spend that much money, they can go for it. The Royals have still won a World Series more recently than the Yankees. MLB hasn't had a repeat champion since the Yankees three-peated from 98 to 2000. Yeah, the Giants went 3 out of 5, but that's still not repeating. There is legitimate parity in baseball, but I think that's more due to the nature of the sport itself than the nature of the CBA and bargaining.
The economics isn't creating parity. I think the overall, I guess, in history of baseball, being able to, really lean in on pitching or develop, and then sometimes if you get really lucky of getting some guys out of Dominican or something like that nobody really heard of, and then they pay off dividends. And so, I think I see it both ways. I just wonder. I just truly think if they come with a salary cap, it's just to raise the level of your underperforming, less exposed franchises, which is the Pittsburghs and all that. Because right now it's a scramble, Austin, for their piece of the pie of where you stand. It is NFL football number one.
And that shows in franchise valuations. The average NFL team is worth $6.5 billion, according to CNBC.
Then it's NBA next.
$4.66 billion average per team.
And then now MLB is trying not to get passed by hockey.
$2.6 billion per MLB franchise.
When you think about it, when they're thinking, okay, if we improve the league, that'll improve the perception, which will then improve the ability to sell it. Their back is against the wall, so they're willing to try anything. And so what has to be done is being able to put the 5 to 10 year forecast for MLB. If not, they're going to get passed by, and they are in the process of doing it. And some of the best players aren't the players that have came up through the ranks. I mean, it's a 10-step answer, things they have to do, but more importantly, I just think it's right now it's a very intense time for MLB because the thing that people like at the beginning, they want the heroes, they want the dynasties. Then you turn into the villains, and then at the end you'll be back in the the good graces. But right now, when you're not having any repeat champions and so forth and so on, you can't build allegiance throughout the league. And then the teams that generally you could count on back, like obviously when I was a little kid, which is the St. Louis Cardinals, the Orioles, and all that, they're obsolete right now. And so the blue bloods are just definitely just waiting to be kind of killed off or die. And so the MLB has to find a way to revive not only them, right, which are the two I named, throw Oakland in there. Now they think maybe the move will be that. We'll see, how much Vegas supports a MLB team.
They've really rallied around behind the Aces and the Knights, to be fair.
Aces, Knights, and the Raiders.
They've
done it. Sure. But now this is baseball, which is a different type of clientele.
I really trust Vegas to rally as long as they're playing baseball in a dome.
Yeah.
Do not make those fans sit outside.
Sit out there at 110
Do not do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this with the MLB, they're just in their back is against the wall. And it's commendable for them to try to do something that's a shot in the dark and a little bit of desperation, but you don't get back into that stronghold on number 3 slot by trying to do business the way you've done it for 30 to 40, 50 years.
I mean, it'll be 50 years since Kurt Flood in a year.
Yeah.
Essentially. I mean, that's
Right.
a long time with a system that has had its changes, but certainly not to the degree that NFL free agency
Very,
has.
very small changes. Player led. Now you're trying to come in from an authority figure where the players have looked at you as an enemy and it's like, okay, I'll just ride next to you because it looks good. Now you're trying to really make some changes for the betterment of the game, and you might not get any like open pathways or communication from the players.
Right. And it's going to be really interesting to see too with the players. I mean, Kurt Flood barely benefited from the decision that has his name on it.
Yeah.
Right. Who from Major League Baseball, whether it's players or owners, are willing to bite the bullet now for the growth of baseball moving forward. That'll be interesting to watch. Let's go ahead and take a break. Some Huskers in the NFL news, maybe some final thoughts from Dana Holgorsen and DeKel Shorts coming up next during On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 3rd, enjoy USDA Choice whole boneless ribeye for $13.99 per pound, plus cut and wrapped for free. Buy 4, get 4 free on 85% lean ground beef patties, USDA Choice 8-ounce bacon wrapped sirloin fillets for $5.99, and bone-in smoked pork chops for $4.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your lake and forecast for today: a slight chance of showers with patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds throughout the day. The high near 79. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and light winds. The low around 60. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies and light winds with an ashing high near 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're back here wrapping up On the Block. Austin Norman, Jay Foreman with you. Old School with Foreman and Norman comes your way here in just a few minutes. Final segment of the show brought to you by Love Volleyball Omaha. Get or renew your season tickets today at lovboma.com. Jay, some Huskers in the NFL news. Amir Abdullah sticking around. He signs another contract, this time with the San Francisco 49ers. For casual, Husker football fans, or maybe diehard Husker football fans who are casual NFL fans, I think the fact that Amir Abdullah is hanging on, in the NFL the way he is a testament to just how difficult the NFL is. I mean, Amir was a one-name guy, Fear Amir, the Heisman campaign, no doubt superstar in the college ranks. And yet, the guy that he's been in the pros, solid role player, really good teammate, not saying he's a bad player or a bad running back, but shows you just how big a gap I think there really is between the NFL and college football. That a guy like Amir Abdullah has struggled to carve out a role as just a full-time, starting or even backup running back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of times your game from college doesn't translate to the NFL. I mean, that's just 100% true. And then, the style of running back and the situation can dictate that as well. But, the one thing I'll focus on with Amir is he's reshaped himself and redefined his career. Look, the only thing that matters, your favorite team is the team that's paying you. I think he's coming up on year 10, I think, or something close to that. He provides leadership. He provides productivity. He provides, more importantly, a stalwart in a very viable person on special teams. So when you think about bringing in a veteran in the middle of training camp or the beginning of training camp, it's a guy that, you're bringing him in hopefully for a purpose. You're not bringing him in as a, camp body and all that. And I'm sure the San Francisco 49ers, especially Kyle Shanahan, knowing his dad been in the NFL, knowing better, they know better than to kind of disrespect a well-established and well-respected player in the league. So I'm happy for Amir, but it is hard. I like to think that, my game, I think, got better as I got to the league, and some guys got worse. And I just think that Amir, going to Detroit, and that's a different situation because it wasn't a winning organization. And so they will either keep draft picks really, really long with the hope that it turns around, or they'll kind of move guys around, and not give them much of a chance. And so, Amir can go, he's shown the ability to be the starter and tote the pill. He's shown the ability to be a special teams contributor, leader, and then obviously a really, really good, third down back. I think the last few years he's had with the Raiders really helped extend his career. And also the great thing about it, he's getting paid, or at least last few years he's getting paid pretty good, and not a lot of miles on the off the tires on the tread. I mean, Rex Burkhead was a very good player here. He did the same thing. Danny Woodhead had to go a different route, but he did the same thing. Look, the more you can do, the more you can provide outside of just toting the pill, leads to longer and more fruitful NFL careers.
If you look at the running back rotation right now, or in terms of guys just on the roster, I guess, for the 49ers, obviously you start with Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
You throw Amir Abdullah into that mix. Isaac Guerrero has certainly shown some flashes last year as a rookie. They drafted Jordan James out of Oregon, or signed him in the fifth round. Corey Kiner on the roster, and then Patrick Taylor Jr. as a fifth-year player out of Memphis. I think there's opportunity there for Amir, whether it's as just the kick returner, kind of spot duty running back. We know McCaffrey's injury history, but he goes down. Everything Amir can do on special teams on top of his ability, I think, Jay, to really be that kind of versatile weapon still out of the backfield. Amir's not just a running back, right? He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run routes. I think that's a perfect fit with what Kyle Shanahan wants to do.
Yeah, and third down, he'll step up and block. And I think it's more of a spotlight on the 3 or 4 guys. Patrick Taylor, Jordan James is a rookie, and then Isaac Guerrero they're on notice. You don't bring in a veteran like that because everybody else has been stepping up. You know that really. Whether Christian McCaffrey was fully healthy and played all last year, or he's coming back off an injury this year, training camp is to get him to the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So he's out of the equation. He's better than Amir. He's going to play. Period. Now, them other 3 or 4 guys, and you can almost say, okay, Jordan James gets a 1-year pass. 5th-round draft choice. You could be on the practice squad. You could be inactive. Okay, so Patrick Taylor and Isaac Guerrero. And one of those guys of the 3, and now it's maybe Jordan James, but between Patrick Taylor and Isaac, they could be on the trade block because there's a lot of teams that are maybe facing some running back depth issues or injury issues or guys being hurt. And then you look for a guy to come in and be a situational starter or a good backup. And particularly, I'll even talk about my Houston Texans. Joe Mixon is out. Who's
Chase Brown?
Not Chase Brown.
No,
it's they had a Pierce.
Damian Pierce. Yeah,
he's out. Well, now they got Nick Chubb as their guy, but it's great that you have Nick Chubb, but Nick Chubb is injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about that, right, potentially of a GM calling up out there to John Lynch and say, how's your running back depth? Well, now granted, you're not calling him to trade for a 10, 11-year guy like Amir. You're calling the trade for Isaac Guerrero or a Patrick Taylor because you need a second or third guy. Well, there's John Lynch could be like, we got these 2 guys. We got a young rookie. We're going to give a chance for a year or 2. We could be good with letting either one of them go. With all the mindset, they had an eye on Amir and what Amir not only can bring from a running back standpoint, pass catching standpoint, pass blocking standpoint, locker room standpoint, and special teams.
Locker room standpoint, especially after last year.
And they need it. And you don't get a lot of news out of San Francisco because the news cycle usually shuts down by the time they're off the field. They had a lot of issues. So, I mean, it's a good pickup and hope, Amir is able to extend it.
A couple stats from Twitter. Amir Abdullah was the 5th oldest running back with any rushing yards last season. He is one of, I think the only guy from his draft class at running back still playing. The only guys from the year after him are Zeke Elliott and Derrick Henry.
There you go.
Even that,
and you would have never thought about that because I think Amir was a 3rd-round pick, a little bit undersized, fumbling history, and then he's able to go and he remedied all that.
Second in terms of games played by any backs behind only Kyle Juszczyk as well since he entered the league.
Yeah, 2 guys that you never would have thought of, and they're the one. Look, lasting in the league is an art, and it's the hardest thing to do.
Getting there, piece of cake, right? No, I'm kidding. What we got on Old School, Jay?
We'll talk a little Husker talk, dive into more of, what obviously we had, Coach Dana and Coach Shorts talking. But then also really look at how that same message could resonate on both sides of the ball and in the kicking room. And we'll talk some NFL talk. We got
Hall of Fame game tonight.
Hall of Fame game tonight.
On these airwaves, people.
what it means, and then how special it is when the season gets started.
There you go. That's coming up next on Old School with Foreman and Orman. Big thanks to the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese for their sponsorship of the show. We'll talk to you again in just a sec.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 3rd, enjoy USDA Choice whole boneless ribeye for $13.99 per pound, plus cut and wrapped for free. Buy 4, get 4 free on 85% lean ground beef patties, USDA Choice 8-ounce bacon wrapped sirloin fillets for $5.99, and bone-in smoked pork chops for $4.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 32 32 32. GO99 to 32 32 32. GO99 to 32 32 32. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion.